Hello everyone, Hulan Spyder here, and welcome to the Hulan Spyder's Ready or Not Hour 1 video, basically covering a variety of things that'll contribute to the overall quality of life in your first experiences in Ready or Not and help you in your overall effectiveness as a SWAT officer of the Los Suenos Police Department SWAT Force. Just a few words before we begin. First of all will be hotkeys. I know you can change your hotkeys to whatever suits your fit anytime you need, that's great. But as far as discussing hotkeys, I will be using PC's hotkeys description. But honestly, I'm going to attempt to use the actual hotkeys name instead of just the button name. Like instead of saying Q and E, I'll say lean left and lean right, so it should help out our console friends. Discussion number 1. What kind of game is Ready or Not? Ready or Not is a tactical first-person cooperative shooter. Originally for the PC, but as of the July 15th major update now extends to consoles. You're just a regular member of the SWAT team of the Los Suenos Police Department. At least I think we are. Answering calls for service and executing warrants for a variety of different missions and suspects. But honestly, Ready or Not being a tactical shooter, it is PvE. So you are playing with your buddies against the computer AI. Doesn't get much more old school than that. It's a slower pace than most first-person shooters of the day, but then again, it is a tactical, strategic, cooperative endeavor. You will experience both the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat in this one. But the victories are so sweet, especially when you get an S rank on a difficult mission. Now really what makes this game what it is? What separates it from similar titles of its genre? You know what I'm saying? And that would have to be the SWAT RP. RP. As in role-playing. If you get your head into the game of what's taking place, treat yourself like police, attempt to make arrests, get into the lore, and just immerse yourself in everything that this game is and has to offer and its secrets and everything, I think you're really going to get your money's worth. Be tactical, think tactically. Treat it with the respect it deserves as a SWAT officer of the LSPD. Another matter to discuss before we get into anything thicker than this will be the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, which displays your paper doll, your compass, your glow sticks, how many tacticals you have remaining, your night vision, and your weapon-mounted tactical as well. So the initial hotkey to drop your glow sticks is drop a glow stick, Charlie, for PC players. And there you are. Okay, your night vision. To don and doff your night vision, it's N to put it on, N to take it off, again. Now I use white phosphorus instead of green phosphorus, and I will discuss that in the controls and the options that's coming up here shortly. I'll hop down here so it'll be easier for you to see the menu. So we'll hit our escape, go to options, whatever your options are.
I can get us
be on the first page, which should be just gameplay. And on this page, you can control your sensitivities, your pitch and yaw, your ADS zoom, your reload methods for shotguns. I do single shell reloading rather than doing all shells in one button push, because if I only need one shell, I just load one up. I don't need to worry about trying to interrupt a reload process in a tense situation when I only need one more shell to bring order to chaos. The low ready style, mine is at high. You can switch it to low or high. Low ready is basically how my gun is ready in the upwards position, high position. Okay, and if I hit space, you can switch it to the low position. Okay, but my default is in the high, and the reason it's switching between it is because I'm not allowed to have a gun at the ready. I'm not allowed to have a shouldered firearm like this. This is high, that's shouldered. Okay, but we'll discuss more of that in a second. So single shell for me, high ready instead of low ready. We'll discuss that in a moment. Default commands for your AI and default lock door commands that you can do. Pick it or kick and clear, breach and clear, all kinds of cool stuff. Shotgun and clear, like you can get crazy dynamic. You can do quieter breaches like picking locks on one set of doors, and then around on the flank you can do a shotgun breach, so that attracts everybody's attention, and then the people who pick the lock can just sneak in and take advantage of the situation. Player names, yeah, I like to show player names because I mean it doesn't really work very far away. Okay, if you want to go deeper into the RP, turn them off, you know what I'm saying? But player names are nice just because when I turn and look at a teammate and make a request for this door, I would like to know who I was talking to without having to look at their back name tag or determine by their outfit who they are, because a lot of us wear the same uniforms and it's difficult to tell. Plus, if they're on the other side of a door, I can see their name tag that close. If they're close, you can see it. Keep you from swinging a door open and putting a couple rounds in your buddy because you get frightened. Show compass, I have that enabled. That is how I got that. It is defaulted to disabled. You want it enabled. Show paper doll, that's always good to have on. Some people turn that off. I don't honestly think it matters too much unless you take some hits and then you look at your paper doll to see if it hit your armor, if it hit you. That's why that's useful. Record replays, you can enable that and that will always be turned on. So as soon as you load into a game and begin play,
I'll get us some new toys.
It will be recording. It's in the folders in your Ready or Not system folders and stuff. We'll find that out later on. It can also severely affect your overall quality of gameplay. You may want to lower your graphics down just a hair to compensate for the load that it's going to have every time you play a game, play a scenario, and it's automatically recording. Recording replays allows you to use the Ready or Not in-game editor, which has a lot of really cool things you can do with it, and as you mix and match from first-person view to the cinematic view that the editor can provide, it really makes some interesting content. Discord supporter verifications for the supporter people like myself. I've been playing this game like off and on for a very long time since it came out. When it first came out, before even early access, it was just team deathmatch, but that's because they were just troubleshooting the gunplay. That's all that really was. Allow modded players is enabled. That's to let people use their voice packs and all their cool stuff that they use, bring it onto the server that you have. It used to be labeled an option called enabled server-side checksum, which you could disable that and then people with mods could come in. Seems that they've changed it, maybe secured it a little bit better, and changed the type of option that it actually is. Everything else is the same: graphics, audio, keyboard, accessibility, your controller. So there's all your controller stats that you need. You just go right on over there. Might be default for the console players of this game. The first thing that I'd like to discuss before we get into the shank of all this is the high ready, low ready. Okay, I'm gonna put this to low ready. Okay, I'm gonna put it to low right here. Okay, so now when I hit spacebar, it goes to low ready. Now first things first, when you're shouldered, you run a decent speed, but when you go to low or high ready is when you go to full run speed. Okay, full running speed. So if you're trying to enter a doorway, it's probably good to get that little bit extra speed so you can do what you need to do. Why do I prefer high ready over low ready? Here's a shouldered weapon. When I get close to the door frame, it will go automatically to high ready. When I give myself enough space, it'll go back to shouldered. Okay? But say if I'm at low ready because I want speed. Say if I get close to this. I hit it, it goes to high ready. When I pull back, it goes to low ready. High ready, low ready, did I hit it? You know what I'm saying? It's at high ready, you accidentally hit spacebar, you know, it can get weird. It's more for looks than anything. High ready, pull back, low ready. Now if I stay in high ready, okay, and that's my default. If I'm in high ready, I get close, nothing happens. It's wonderful. No motion, nothing in my peripheral vision trying to distract me from everything that's on the other side of this door. Okay, so just consider it. If you have it shouldered, it's going to high ready anyway. You know what I'm saying? So might as well keep all of this foolishness off, and it just goes one direction instead of three. Okay, we're going to discuss something called the funnel, also known as the fatal funnel. Fatal funnel includes the circumference of space around the doorway in a fan, including the epicenter, that is the doorway itself. So that means for this doorway, technically I'm in the funnel. Technically I am. If somebody was right there and I wasn't paying attention and I walked this way, I would probably get shot in the side of the head because I was in the funnel. Clear the funnel this way for a reason. Ah, there is an enemy suspect right there. Armed to the teeth, staring down our gun barrel, and we're staring down his. So if this door is open, it is not safe to just run up to it at any angle until it's visually covered. Like, I know I'm safe because no one's there. You think that the right side would be the spot to be safe against this person, but as you can see, he has backup. So open doors, be very careful. Consider that you're in the funnel the whole time. We'll do it over here. You hit this wall, boom, and then you could walk up to the corner, open the door, and I say always back up off of the door as far as you can in order to open it. Why? Because you're in the funnel. You can open it from right here, and I'm safely back. My foot is not in it. You can't even see my gun barrel. I also like to give myself about 2.5 feet of space from the door frame. As we open the door and we start taking shells, you don't want to be right here. They will shoot through this, and they will shoot through it for a while. So back up off of it about 2.5 feet. Let them have their temper tantrum. And since you back up even further, begin your slide into the room. Okay? Check it out. Closed door. You can stack safely left and right. The door only swings one way though. If you're trying to see down there, that is probably all that you get as far as examining the other side of the funnel. Okay? Then you'll have to start clearing. Look, a window. Looks like somebody's behind it. You might get shot just by sliding from here to here. You might actually take fire. You definitely will in hard mode. And then you have more fun and games over here. So consider which way the door swings when you're approaching the funnel. Now, look at this person. I stacked left, the best way because the door swings left. Much safer on that approach to the person behind the window. Okay? Handle that first. Then you can clear the rest of the room. So this is just your basic approach to moving close to a doorway. I know whenever you get a lot of momentum and you're doing good, you get up here, you want to do it, you want to clear it, you want to go in, and you get caught in the doorway. Don't get caught in the doorway. If you're sliding, pull back away from it. It keeps bullets from just hitting you by hugging the wall, okay? Pull back from it. Take your time. Go slow. Every slice of angle. Okay? You have time. Take your time. I think that's a good place to stop on the funnel. You pretty much understand what's going on, and you will have a variety of experiences in the field that will probably dash all of these rulings to pieces as soon as you get out there in the real thing. So the first most important thing is understanding the funnel, what it is, and how to approach doorways safely. The close second most important thing to understand in this game is something referred to as the dynamic lean. Okay, the dynamic lean. So we'll use this as our training tool. Okay, you're over here at the doorway. You need to see behind it. You hit lean right so you can lean. You can see them. You can kind of get a piece of them before you start going to high ready because your gun's too close. You can probably take care of that. Problem is, half my body is visible behind this. You have to understand. Half of my body is visible, and that is not a deep lean at all. If I'm leaning, take fire and come back, he's going to shoot all through this door panel and all up my whole right side of my body because it is exposed when I lean. Okay, boom, 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 still getting hit. The dynamic lean. You're able to lean much further with a dynamic lean than you can with just lean left, lean right. Okay? You want to hold the Alt key. That is the dynamic lean key for PC users. You will have a dynamic lean key of your own for controller. Hold that. Go all the way to the right. And not only do you have full sight depiction, but you can lean out just far enough to have any target that you want. Any depiction that you want. Okay? With dynamic lean, you can lean a little bit, or you can lean a whole lot, or a little bit, or just around, or just a little bit low, or a little bit high. Get on my tippy toes. See what's in the next room. See what I'm saying? I can go here. Can't see him. Can see him now. Hey guys, there's somebody in there. Dynamic lean. So with this scenario, we will get further back. Q, you can't even, Q and E, lean left and lean right. Can't even get close. Dynamic lean all the way to the right. Zoom. You're there. And you have complete target depiction. You have your pick of targets. Shoot at them. Boom, boom, boom. Take fire back. All you do is let go of the dynamic lean key and look what happens. Snaps right behind cover. You're already about 2 feet behind the frame. And you just keep moving away from the gunfire. No big deal. Boom, boom, boom. He'll shoot through there, hit nothing. You can come back up here, find a good spot, find the sweet spot, and just zing. I'll do it a little bit. This is what the Q and E, lean left, lean right, was giving me. That's all I was getting. Barely this. You know what I'm saying? And I can lean further. Zing. Look how much further. Like, it's nothing. I can pop out barely and headshot. Easy day. Okay? Let's find some other stuff. Say if you're behind these boxes and you need to shoot into the next room. You can just hold crouch and you can do E. Hold control, hold crouch and do Q and E. Yeah, you'll slice it. That's fine. But the top of my head's probably showing above this box. But if I hold dynamic lean and go down, look how much further down I go. Like, seriously, look. Use the top of this box for reference. Hold control. This is where I get. Look at the top of the box to the top of the screen. Okay? Hold dynamic lean and go down. I'm practically under it. And I can go down even lower if I go down and to the left or down and to the right. Get the same amount of control. Same control. Peek in, peek out, peek in, peek out. Boom, 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 boom. Can even get over the top. Bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Okay? Take fire. Get in trouble. Let go of all. Zing. Pop, pom, pom. Go back into the next room. You're good. The dynamic lean is everything. Alright, let's discuss flashbangs. Go ahead and hit your tactical button. You click and hold to prime your flashbang grenades, but be warned, once it's primed, you can't put the pin back in it. You will need to throw it to get something else in your hands. You hit F to open the door, and then immediately pull the pin, but the door's locked, so the door doesn't swing open. You've got a primed flashbang grenade in your hand. So, couple rules here. Make sure the door opens when you try to open it, and then you can prime and toss, okay? Doesn't need to be that slow. You can open prime, but make sure the door opens, however long that takes you to realize that. Okay, priming a flashbang, you want to click and hold. This is the stance that you will get into. There is no aiming reticle for the grenade tosses whatsoever. You'll notice that immediately. Okay, but you do have your hand up here in sort of a position as a guideline. So what you want to do is, you see the index finger of my left hand there. Let's say I want to hit that triangle of the red arrow that's pointing there. Don't put your finger on your target. Put your index finger just outside of your target to the left and let it go. Bong. Every time. Okay, I think I have one more. Okay, find the target with your index finger. Okay, move your index finger to the left just a touch and let it fly. Bomb. Every time. So that is how you can get some sort of accuracy and direction on your flashbang tosses. Glass can really be a pain in the butt in this game, especially when enemies are shooting you from behind it. Generally, when bullets pass through glass, it does tend to break, but is also very difficult to see. And some glass in the game, you can't shoot through. So if you hate glass, you can walk up to it and melee it with the B button. You have to have space though. Boom. Melee strike with B, bravo. Okay? You can aim through it. You can also shout through it.
Down on your knees!
Shouting through it definitely will create more of an effect on somebody's morale than if you just did it with the windows intact. Trust me. You don't want to have to just open a door, encounter people, and then shout for compliance. You can open the door first. Shout for compliance out here.
Get down and keep your hands up!
And you will hear where they are coming from. That'll take us to our next point. Calls for compliance. Let's talk about intel. Finding out who's in a room and where they're at without actually being in the room to do it. The first and most obvious choice would be the mirror wand underneath the door frame. You can look around, see one suspect, look, see nobody, okay? But we know for a fact that there's a paper target over here behind this barrier, but our character doesn't know that. So what we can do is we can either acknowledge this target or pretend it's not there. Pretend he's not there. Get into the room safely. And then we can do something at head height and use our wand to see if there's anybody hiding behind this barricade. So you can use your wand standing to look around corners. You don't even need to be that close. I can pull back a bit, I think. Yeah, still enough to see him. Okay, pull back even further. Still see him. So you can use your wand around corners. You can use your wand around doors. Sometimes when you use a wand and you use it around a door frame, you look and there's obstacles that block this area of space, left and right. So what you have to do is you have to open the door safely, clear here, make sure nobody's going to shoot you. Stick the mirror gun outside, look around the corner at head height. Head height, okay? That is very important. Okay? We barely see that suspect right there. I know I didn't see it whenever I was down here, but that is the biggest proof ever. What if I did it on the corner of the door? I wouldn't have seen that paper target whatsoever. But I open the door, look around the corner, there it is. Would not have spotted them using the door frame. Of course, you can always open it and just clear it the old-fashioned way, you know what I'm saying? But we want to know where people are before we enter the room. So we're back safely in cover. We're creeping up along the side of the door to open it from as far and as safely away as possible. We pull back, we get our guns shouldered, and we call for compliance.
Hands up now! Drop to your knees! Get down on your knees!
Calls for compliance. 90% of the time, if there is anybody in the room, whether it is an armed suspect or an unarmed civilian, most of the time, in fact almost all of the time, they will speak back to you and acknowledge your presence in some way, whether positive or negative. So I would say,
"Police, hands up!"
and I would hear an armed suspect here say, "No way, cop!" Now he's really close. I may not want to just take the time to use the wand around the corner. As safely as I could do that, he might decide to get agitated and push me. But if I know he's there, I can almost certainly throw a flashbang in there. Ting, boom, and then you have a compliant suspect. And you can handle all of that without entering the room. That is another point to make. Handle it all outside of the room as much as possible before you actually come in. Because if you can see people inside the room from out here, there's no reason for me to enter, potentially walk into ambush. But you can flashbang and get them all on their knees. You can even bring them to you, all from outside the room. I got on a tangent there, sorry about that. So these are just some basic and general concepts to playing Ready or Not on your first try, console or PC. Welcome everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe considering subscribe. If you didn't like the video, leave a comment below and tell me how I could improve it. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the CQB course downstairs.